Hey all you super players out there, Ben Lotus aka 5 Buck Lunch, and today we're taking a look at the results of me and my friend Mike's challenge. We challenged each other to come up with the best deck for Goku Strength of Legends and Vegeta Strength of Legends, and I came up with a 5-color Android 1718 build, and he came up with a 5-color Universe 7 Frieza build. So we're going to play them against each other and see who wins. Should be a pretty interesting time here. So my build is resolved more around the fact that the new Android 18 coming in set 10, you can play with this deck for 2 energy and it draws 2 cards. So not only do you get access to the big Strength and Legends cards, but you also get access to a bunch of early game big cards you can play to kind of get your opponent down in life. So he's going to start off with a 1-drop Goku that searches the top 3 for a Universe 7. The reason he decided to go with the Frieza Universe 7 is so that he could use its discard effect to put all the colors in his drop area so that he can play the Strength of Legends. The Strength of Legends are also Universe 7 themselves, so he can use cards like the 1-drop yellow extra card and the 2-drop blue Goku in order to search out the Strength of Legends cards themselves so that he'll have them on turn 4 to play them. He also gets access to a bunch of negates, which is nice. I'm playing a bunch of negates as well. But as you can see, so his Goku searched up a 1-drop negate, and then he passed. So my first turn, I'm going to have to charge 1 of each color. So now I'm trying to decide whether I want to charge a green and have access to my Dr. Gero on turn 1, or charge a blue and have access to my Android 18, which I'm going to do. So when I play her, I can look at the top 5 cards of my deck and grab a blue or green Android, which is most of the Androids in my deck. There are some that are red and yellow as well, and Dr. Gero can search those, but a lot of my cards are just like 1-drop ways for me to get all my colors to make sure I have them on time. But yeah, that Android 18 I just drew is a key part of the deck because it allows you to have just massive card draw for no real downside. So I'm going to grab that and then swing in. So I dealt 1 damage to him and then passed my turn. The Android 1718 leader is a leader I've been trying to get to work for a long time. I really love a lot of the combos that it has, with the new Android 17 being a 1-cost red negate 15k, which becomes a 20k once you get before 4 low life, and using things like the Android 17 4-drop in my hand that can destroy a card and then is a barrier blocker for 25. There's just a lot of really powerful effects that you have, and this allows you to kind of combine all of them and still have a nice endgame win condition. So he's going to play the new Namekian Piccolo. It's a 1-drop where when it attacks, you can take a life and then gain 15 or a 10k attack, so it becomes a 15. It stands back up. Then he can't attack for the rest of the turn. So swung with that, did a damage, and he's going to swing with his leader. I'm going to take it again. One cool thing about the Android 17 leader is you can awaken at 6 life, which is something not a lot of other leaders can do. And you don't get to start drawing cards, though, until you awaken. So that's kind of the downside because it's an old-style leader. He's going to play another Goku and grab another negate. As you can see, he shows me he had 3 of the negates on top of his deck, which is pretty funny. One thing that allows the Frieza to play 4 colors like this, by the way, is the fact that it has Warrior of Universe 7, which means all of your Universe 7 cards are generic. So basically none of the cards in his deck, for the most part, actually cost specific energy. So that's why, as you can see, he tapped a green energy to play a blue Goku. Passes his turn, it's my turn. So one thing you have to really pay attention to when you're playing a Strength of Legends decks is every turn you have to charge a different color. So as you can see here, I charge a red. It actually probably would have been better for me to charge a green there, to be fair, just because I could have drawn a different red card for next turn to charge. And so let's see. So I'm going to awaken here. Now, see, yeah, so I drew a red card there, and it would have been much more useful to have the Android 17 in my hand. So I really should have charged a green card here. But for the first 4 turns in the game, you have to charge different colors. You can't charge 2 of the same. Otherwise, you won't be able to drop your Strength of Legends on curve. But see, here's the strength of the deck is on turn 2 I can play a 20k that draws me 2 cards for free when it comes into play. And once I get below 4 life, it becomes a 25k. Just very strong all around. And having that amount of massive draw power in the deck is very beneficial when you need to see all your different cards in order for your strategy to work. Like, you need to make sure you see all your colors. And since I'm only playing 8 red cards and 8 yellow cards, I really need to be able to get through my deck and kind of pick and choose. So as you can see, I swung with my leader and my 18, and he took 2 damage. So he's down to 5 life here, or I'm at 6 life. And he's going to go ahead and charge his yellow. As you can see, same for him. He's got to charge a different color every turn so that his Strength of Legends works. One thing we found out while playing these decks, which was kind of surprising, is we kind of made these decks kind of for fun because we thought it was funny, and they're actually a lot better than we would have expected them to be. Like, actually might be competitive better, which is pretty unusual. It's not really what I expected. I expected them to kind of be joke decks, but I'm actually going to be building this in real life and trying it out because I think that it actually has a lot of potential. And I will be putting out a deck list for mine and possibly Mike's as well, but we're going to refine them a little bit. Probably at the end of the week, I will have a deck list because I want to go through kind of my choices and stuff a little quick since I built the deck pretty quickly. So he's going to play Indomitable Link Sun Gohan, which just kills a battle card when it comes into play. You might notice that's kind of a weird card to play for 3 that is that kills a card, but the reason he's playing that is because there's a 2-drop Piccolo that can search any Sun Gohan Adolescence, 3 or less, when he's played, and he's playing multiple different colors of the Sun Gohan, so he can search whatever color he's missing, so that's why he has that card in his deck. So he attacked, and I comboed with my onboard 18 because I don't really need it, and I'm kind of trying to keep my life up so that I can take an attack from a Strength of Legend next turn, since he's going to get to play his first because he went first. So I got to be able to make sure that I can actually take an attack and not die. And so you notice he chose not to attack with his Piccolo. The reason for that is he wants to be able to play his Strength of Legend next turn and Awaken on the same turn so he can untap 2 energy. That way he can play a Strength of Legend with on curve without tapping out. Because he could have attacked there with Piccolo, taken a life, and then untapped 2... and then untapped 2 mana and kept making plays, but that doesn't really have much he can do on this turn, so he's going to wait until next turn to Awaken. So as you can see on my turn, my green energy comes down, and I play another Android 18, drawing 2 more cards. So Android 18s have drawn me 4 cards now, which is pretty crazy. Plus I can leave a green energy open, which will allow me to play either my Negate Android 17 in my hand, or a Shocking Death Ball, whichever one I need. Most of your negates are all either red or green, which is actually something I might be changing. I might be putting other color negates in as well. But they all have alternate purposes as well. So Death Ball can remove things, and then the red one becomes a 20k attacker after you negate with it. And the green Android 17 actually sends any Android 4 cost or less from your deck to the drop. So you can use him in order to set up your drop for Goku Strength of Legends. Because in order to play the Goku, you have to have a monocolor of each card in your drop. So that way when you negate with Android 17, you can send whatever color you're missing. So I just attacked twice. He went down to 4 and defended one of the other attacks, and now he gets to play as Goku. Now I knew that there's probably a Strength of Legend coming down this turn, so I kept my green energy open, and I am at 4 life still, so I'm decently well protected. The Goku is interesting, so you can play it for free, and it's just a 35k with nothing else, but you can pay 1 of each color energy, 4 total, to untap it, give it dual attack, double strike, and critical for the turn. And that is very scary, obviously. But interestingly enough, you can actually just play him and then play something else if you want to, and you just have a big 35k body to swing around with. But he's going to use the effect to stand it back up. It looks like, did I? Oh, I was at 5 life, I'm sorry. I was at 5 life and I took 1 damage there because he swung at the leader. And now he's going to... Oh, no, sorry, that's incorrect. Sorry, everybody. No, so he's... Okay, there we go. So I go down to 3. This is ADR, as you can tell. So I went down to 3 life there, taking the 1 because it's not critical. I don't really care too much about. And as you can see, I'm just going to negate the other 2 attacks with my... Oh, and here you can see I made a mistake. So I should have comboed on the last attack because now I can't play my Shocking Death Ball for free because I don't have enough cards in my drop. So now I'm going to have to choose basically between comboing a bunch of cards or taking this next critical attack. And in my head here, I'm thinking, oh man, I messed up because I didn't put enough cards in my drop area in order to play my Shocking Death Ball. However, he's going to decide to Awaken here, untap his 2 energy. And he gets to do his other draw with Frieza, which is really nice. So you can't really see it very well, but every turn he's been discarding the Universe 7 and drawing 2, which is very useful for that strategy because he can discard his monocolored cards in order to put all his colors in his drop for Goku, which is really nice. Then he's going to use his ability to tap my Android 17 and swing into my leader with his Goku. And now, unfortunately, I have to combo. I can't just negate with Shocking Death Ball because I didn't set up my graveyard properly. One thing interesting about this deck is it's actually pretty technical on how you run it. Like you kind of have to keep track of a bunch of things like where your colors are and like making sure your Shocking Death Balls are alive and things like that. So it's definitely not like the first deck you should play. But so I kind of use it both ways here. So I combo enough to protect myself, plus I've now put all of my colors in the drop, which is very important. He's going to use his Piccolo to kill my Android 17, which he tapped with his leader, and he's going to swing in with his leader. And now Shocking Death Balling here really doesn't have that much of a purpose, but I would still like to be able to take a double strike attack if possible, so I'm just going to get rid of a 5k to protect myself. So now it's my turn. He's got 2 energy up. And I can play my yellow energy, so now I have all 4 colors and all 4 colors in drop. And now I have to decide, because I could play Vegeta or Goku here. The Vegeta, for those of you that don't know, you can put in play for one of each color. And then when it comes in play, you can kill something ignoring barrier. And it has dual strike, double attack, and draws each time it attacks. So it basically is a dual attack, double strike, and then you get to draw 2 cards. So it does a lot. In a lot of ways, I actually like it better than Goku. And here I'm just trying to consider which is better. So as you can see, I decide to play the Vegeta because I want to be able to get rid of his Goku, basically. I decide that I can't really kill him this turn since he has 10 cards in hand still and I have 9, 3 of which are negates, so my combo power isn't that high. So instead I'm going to play the Vegeta, get rid of his Goku, and draw a bunch of cards. And even though he's negating these attacks, I'm still gaining advantage because I'm drawing cards off the Vegeta. But yeah, if he hadn't played the Goku last turn, it was more of an open board, I probably would have gone with the Goku play instead. So he negated the first one, and as you can see, he's going to use a super combo and a couple other cards and combo out of the next one. And while it's pretty scary that I'm tapped out here and I'm probably facing down another Strength of Legends card next turn, I do have 2 negates that I can burst with and a lot of 5k cards, so I might actually still be okay. So we swing in with the Android 18, and that's kind of what I'm relying on here to kind of save myself, that hopefully like I could live through 1 Strength of Legends cards and he has some cards he can't combo with and stuff like that. If you're wondering why I went with the Frieza Death's Embrace for my red card, I wanted a generically good card that I could bring back off of the Android 17 negate, so it had to be a 1-drop red card. And that's kind of like the best one because you could play it to draw a card on turn 1 if you need to. You can also bring it back and negative 10k something. The downside is you're never going to be using a lot of negatives because you're only really going to have 1 red energy. So if anyone has any good ideas on what to put in that slot, that's kind of one of the biggest slots I'm kind of trying to find a different card for. Just because like Frieza is generically good, but it doesn't do a whole lot. So it's his turn and he untaps. And now he's put in kind of an interesting position because he doesn't have the Strength of Legend card, which, if you can see a couple turns ago, he actually discarded one off of his effect, which is kind of a mistake in my opinion. So he looks at the top 7 trying to grab one, and he can't find it, so he grabs a super combo. And bam, so he has the Vegeta. He didn't have the Goku, which was what he was looking for, because the Goku would probably just be game here, because he gets an extra 35k single strike attack, so I couldn't negate both of, take that and then negate both of the double strikes. But here, I can simply negate both of his double strike attacks. And he doesn't have that third follow-up attack. He's got to swing with his leader, which is significantly smaller than a Goku. One other mistake I want to talk about last turn, too, if we can roll it back just a little bit, is I could have dropped a Goku and not used the ability, and I forgot that. So that's another. So I could have had another big attacker and had Goku just on the board here as well. So he attacks with his leader, and we both have 12 cards in hand, but I finally got one of my super combos, and the Pargus super combo is really powerful in this deck. But he rightly assumes that I probably have a Strength of Legend next turn, and he has to win this turn. So he basically has to win here or he's going to lose next turn anyway since he's tapped out. So my Pargus gets me another Pargus, which is obviously very good. However, I did the math, and I actually would have lived without the Pargus as well by 5k, but this made it just kind of a blowout. Since my deck plays almost exclusively 5k cards, and I can get rid of the 10k cards with my Parguses, it becomes very, very easy for me to out-combo. And as you can see, he didn't have anything else he could combo with. He had a bunch of dead cards in hand. So I end up winning this game, and I'm going to put out Game 2 and Game 3 tomorrow and Wednesday, so you'll get to take a look at those. But yeah, this game was super, super fun. I had a lot of fun with this challenge, and it's a deck that I always wanted to kind of try, but never really had a way to get to before. But yeah, so please like, subscribe. If you have any ideas for the deck, shoot me. It's still in progress of building, and I will have deck lists out later this week, and Game 2 and 3 will be coming tomorrow and the day after. Go out there, play some Super, and have some fun.